What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with Flex Appeal episode 21. Today was a back day. As you can see, I'm doing front squats. Uh, I kind of decided, like, randomly, because I was like, I really want to get my squat very good. And I was going through old training footage when I realized the best and my squat ever looked and felt was when I was doing front squats. And I was like, but I don't really like doing high rep front squats, nor do I think that they're as good as heavy front squats. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna add front squats to my pull day, but at the beginning in just like heavy front squats. That way they won't like realistically impede my recovery that much because in terms of like what really tears me up, it's like volume. I feel like I have a pretty um good recovery rate from doing heavy things, but the volume really just tears my body up. So I decided to add it at the beginning and see where it takes me. Um, we'll see. I just worked up. I did ascending threes. I think I did like 60 kilos, 70, 80, and then 90. And this really came about because been I've been watching a lot of weightlifters. And if you don't know, I'm just like a general strength enthusiast. I love bodybuilding. I love powerlifting. I enjoy watching strongman. Not too big into strongman, but I also enjoy watching weightlifting. I'm not like a huge fanatic, but I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy especially watching people train. I think there's something that's just so alluring about an athlete just locking in to their given sport and just watching them cook. Like it's so interesting to me, especially weightlifting, where it's like the level of athleticism that you need for that sport is pretty insane, honestly. But then that's what really brought me to adding an extra squat day and just adding like a heavy front squat day to see where it takes my squat. And I honestly think that it will take it somewhere good because it didn't really impede my recovery. Like my legs were sore and I still managed to get something good, as well as I feel like I watched Sam Sheether, somebody that I followed for a long time on social media. He's done front squats before deadlifts, and he does them as a warm up as well. I've seen in his past videos where he doesn't really do them all that crazy. He just like kind of warms up, which I mean, like I definitely went a little bit more intense, but it's essentially the same concept of that, and just adding it on my pull day before my deadlifts, and it honestly didn't really impede my deadlifts. And I think if anything, it helped it because the two biggest weaknesses that I have are like my mid back, like specifically like T spine mobility, and then my core. Those have always been my biggest weaknesses in squat. In deadlift, it's a little less noticeable, but it's definitely something that occurs when I get to heavier weight. So front squat which just perfectly addresses those problems. But aside from adding that in, stays pretty much the same. I just had to change the order because somebody was using this pull down before, which I mean the exercise order when it comes to all the uh, bodybuilding stuff, it doesn't particularly matter. Although I think from what I've heard, doing bilateral is better first because you are the freshest, and doing unilateral after is going to recruit more motor units, and it's going to be better for um, SFR fatigue. No, is it SFR or is it FSR? Fatigue to stimulus ratio. I don't remember. But essentially, it's more fatiguing, so it's just gonna be better to do it in a fatigue state because you're gonna be able to recruit more motor units. Is essentially what I'm getting at. But I kind of just did it because I had to. It definitely felt good though. I felt like I could get more out of my pull downs, and honestly, I feel like my back is feeling big. And specifically, like yesterday when I was walking into Aldi, dude, I felt fucking huge for my mid back. I don't know what it is. I've never felt like that in my fucking rhomboids and traps. And honestly, I kind of accredit it to the fact that I've been doing more chest supported rows. For the longest time, I was on a streak of doing arsenal strength, the T-bar row, they call it the humbler, and then like seal rows, but never felt like I could get. I like wasn't doing them right, so I never felt like I could get what I needed out of them. As well as it was just really hard to brace. Even when I was bracing right, it felt like I'm just I'm just fucking my abs, my upper ab, and like my ribs up. But I switched from doing like T-bar to just doing a true chest supported where you're like seated up and you're just like pulling. I do that one, and then I do the multi row from Arsenal Strength with the low hands, and I just put the seat up or the seat down, whichever one I need. And the way my back feels, it definitely tells me that these movements specifically for me are better than doing like T-bar rows. And I don't particularly know why. Like I feel like I really want to like T-bar rows, but my experience with them has not been great. That doesn't mean they're not a good movement. It just means that I'm bad at executing them and staying locked in with them, which is okay. And I think that you should play to your strengths, right? Especially when you're getting the same stimulus out of them. So if you're getting the same stimulus out of them than you are from, a chessboard row to a T-bar row, then just do what you're better at. If you're really good at T-bar rows, then you could just do T-bar. If you're really good at, just regular seated chessboard, then just do that because they work the same muscles at the end of the day. So I think that they're gonna get me to where I need to be. And I've been pondering the idea. Training's over, but I've been pondering the idea of introducing barbell rows back into my program, as well as maybe dumbbell rows. But when I was looking at my old training, because I was looking at my old iCloud, I started to realize that when my back was at its strongest and when my back was looking really good, I had like a strict pen lay row or like a strict barbell row in my program. And it wasn't a lot. It was like maybe 2 sets, but it got me thinking maybe I should start adding that back in. And the only thing that I don't really care to add in is like dumbbell rows because of the limitations, really. Your trunk stability, and then the difficulty of when you get heavy enough that the dumbbell is just going to be hard to move, and then it's going to be hard to breathe compared to like a barbell row, which is in my opinion more stable than that. So dumbbell rows I don't really care about because I feel like with lower lats I can get the same or equal stimulus as something else. But I've definitely been thinking about barbell rows, adding them back in, even maybe just 1 set, because I really do like barbell rows. They're very nice, and I think that comparatively for upper back to lower lats, like barbell rows would definitely be better for upper back than dumbbell rows would be for lower, unless you're just really strict, doing it. I feel like it's just not worth. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm turbo fried from the workout. I was like drained the second half because I didn't really sleep well, but I'm excited to rest. I will be back on the 10th, 11th for the second half of week 4, and then wrapping up week 4. Um, but if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you on the 11th for my push day. Thanks for watching.